All right, very good. Excellent, excellent. So that tells us something here, folks. The word is getting out, and we're happy that you're doing what you should be doing, sharing information with others, that there may be something that could be of benefit, of some value to them. And we're very happy about that. So hang on one second here. My computer is trying to figure out who and what it is. It's having a little bit of a identity crisis here. So one second. Okay, looks like my computer is still trying to bring itself back up here. Jeff, if you will go ahead and play that first testimonial for us, please.
Okay, and so
Roberta?
this is Roberta's. Okay, there we go.
And then I'll introduce it afterwards.
All right.
My family, my friends, relatives on here now, we all thank God for you and how you allow God to use you to bring health and wellness to the world.
Thank you.
In April, I had lost the ability to walk. Out of the clear blue, never happened to me before. My leg had swollen, and my right knee was 3 times the size of my left knee. And then Brother Jeff asked me, I got on Dr. Piccola Roberts connected me with him, and he gave me a little remedy to do. He said, take Dr. Prasad capsules and open them and mix them with organic coconut oil and make like a paste. So I opened all those capsules. I mixed it with the organic coconut oil. I rubbed it on my knee like Brother Jeff told me to do. I wrapped it in syringe wrap. Then I wrapped it in the first aid bandage wrap, and I went to bed. The next morning, I was able to get up and put my leg on the floor, which I had not did for April and May. I had not been able to do that. And then after 3 days, I was hopping on my leg. I was able to put pressure and hop on it. In less than a week, I was walking completely, no pain, no nothing. To the young lady, Linda Ross, I had dizziness. I was extremely ill with autoimmune disease. I used to be on 99 pills a week. And then the company ran out of what I was taking for 3 months. God allowed Dr. Piccola to call me, said she'd been thinking about me, and I started to get choked up and cry. She said, how are you doing? I said, I'm very sick, and I just started to dump on her about my health. And yes, I felt dizzy. I kept taking it like she told me. Yes, I had loss of balance. I kept taking it like I was told. And so long story short, I wrapped my knee, and in a week, I was able to walk. 3 weeks later, my husband and I started going to the park, putting in 2 miles 3 to 4 times a week. No problems with my legs since. And if I had to, and have an autoimmune, the doctor says I would be on medication for the rest of my life. Like 99 pills, are you serious? I don't think so. So if I had to be on this for the rest of my life, my health is my wealth. And whatever I got to do, I'm going to do it, because a lot of times we wait until we get sick unto death. Because my husband and I was planning my funeral, and we wait till we get sick unto death. Then we want to try and hurry and take everything that we can take to help us. And so I'm doing good, no pain on my body. I used to have pain from head to toe, 24/7. No pain in my leg, no pain in my knee. Now both of my legs and knees are the same size. I'm so grateful for that. One last thing. The doctor told me when I come back that they were going to put me on diabetes medicine. My diabetic number was 6.8. And so she thought when I came back, I had my physical, and she said, what are you doing? And I said, what do you mean? She said, your blood pressure is down from 150/90, over 120/70. My A1C went from 6.8 down to 5.4. 4. Hello. And no cholesterol medicine. None of that, Dr. Prasad. I am so grateful. And the knee injection I was supposed to take, I called the doctor's office, canceled all of that. And all because of this and this
Yeah. That's it.
collagen. All because of that, those right there. And I have everything else now. I'm in great and excellent health. No diabetes medication or injections. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you very much, Jeff,
You bet.
for sharing that story. Apologize for my little technical difficulties at the beginning, everybody. But I wanted to start our presentation with that testimonial because it was loaded with all kinds of things. Now, before we get too deep in, understand something, that testimonials are purely anecdotal. You know, what happens to one person may or may not happen to you. The FDA has not evaluated any of these comments. We strongly recommend that you seek the competent medical advice of professionals that you trust. The information we're providing here is for education, information, and entertainment purposes only. Please don't do anything I say because I say it. I'm not a doctor. I don't claim to be one. I'm a researcher. I do a lot of research, and my goal is to find information that can be shared with anyone that you can take into consideration when making a decision about your health and well-being. And it just so happens we found some really amazing things. And that's not just hyperbole, and that's not just talk. It's real. Now, last week, we had an amazing presentation by Dr. Prasad. Dr. Prasad is the Chief Science Officer for Engage Global. And he is absolutely an amazing gentleman when it comes to science and wellness. He spent an enormous amount of time becoming what he is. This is just some of his accolades. 30 years he taught medicine at the University of Colorado. He became the world's first radiation biology PhD. Among his discoveries, vitamin E succinate and the fact that it's cytotoxic to cancer cells, kills cancer cells. Dr. Prasad is the scientist who figured that out. So his presentation, and he also is an author of some 29 books, no, not 29, 32 books, and 250 peer review publications. Last week, he did this presentation on the role of micronutrients, collagen peptides, and probiotics in the improved treatment of diabetes. Now, this is just the title of his presentation. We're not claiming that micro daily, collagen daily, peptides, or any of the Engage Global products will cure or treat any disease. But I promised that what we were going to do is talk a little bit more in detail about what he said. So Dr. Prasad said some things, and most of it was like, I don't know about you, but it was way over my head. But what you just heard Roberta say kind of crystallized almost the essence of everything that Dr. Prasad said. But we're going to do a little bit of a slow walk through it. She said her A1C went down to normal levels. She said that the doctor wanted to put her on 99 medications a week. I don't think so. And she was pretty adamant about that, boy. That's my favorite line, that whole testimonial. She was not going on those 99 medications per week. Not happening, but she decided she will stay on micro daily and collagen daily. I think the collagen daily primarily because of what it did for her knee, but also there's a role of collagen peptides along with diabetes. Dr. Prasad gave us a little bit of the history of diabetes. Now, this whole presentation is available on my YouTube channel if you wanted to go back and check that out. So, but I'm just going to go to the parts of it that I think that was a little bit technical and might not have been very, very clear. And I've added a couple of illustrations that may help us to understand exactly how micronutrients play a role and exactly how diabetes works. Two different types of diabetes primarily. There's a third one there. I didn't know about this gestational diabetes. I didn't know that diabetes happens during the late stage of pregnancy. I had no idea about that. So that was for me a brand new thing. But type 1, beta cells of the pancreas don't produce insulin. Type 2, it can happen at any time. Adolescent, beta cells produce insufficient insulin. So remember that. And the beta receptors, your pancreas is this one little organ. I'm going to show you a picture of that in a moment. But it has these little beta receptors on it. That's what detects the presence of glucose in the blood. Okay, you'll see that illustration in a minute. But beta receptors, extremely important. In the type 1 diabetic, they're shot. They just don't, they can't tell anything, and then they don't spit out insulin, so they don't do anything. But in type 2, they can just not quite do the job right. The body develops resistance to insulin, causing increased level of sugar in the blood, referred to as hyperglycemia. So those are the two most common. Type 2 is the one that really becomes the problem for most people. And the statistics are staggering as to the prevalence of diabetes. Just look at the risk factors. We don't even have to read this. Don't even have to read it. You can just look at the silhouettes and know exactly what the problems could be. Family history, obesity, what we eat, how we eat. And then that last one down there, that I didn't know that about this gestational diabetes. I had no idea that was the case. So as much as I've been looking at diabetes over the decades since my mother died from the complications of diabetes, I never knew about that one. Physical inactivity, couch potato. I think, no pun intended with that potato thing, but even white rice and potatoes do have a problem. But the more sedentary we are, the greater our chances are of not just getting diabetes, but death. In fact, there was one study that was done about 3 years ago. I got to find that study and send it out. That said that you have a greater chance of a lower mortality, higher chance of living, being a diabetic smoker if you don't exercise. So in other words, not exercising is worse than being a smoker with diabetes. Isn't that something? So if you really want to lower your chances of dying, first of all, get moving, even if you're just walking. And I encourage you to try to walk 30 minutes a day. But if you can get up to somewhere around 6,000 or 7,000 steps a day, that's the ideal. The study indicated that you decrease your mortality, improve your chances of living longer by 70% just by walking 7,000 steps a day. Okay? But high sugar consumption, fatty diet, and by the way, even a small amount of belly fat increases our chances of a cardiac event by 30 or 40%. So gentlemen, it's good reason to get rid of the visceral fat. That's something that's worth working on. The symptoms of diabetes, all that was covered. Dr. Prasad covered that very nicely and in detail, not difficult to comprehend any of that. Then he gave us the statistics about it. He gave us statistics, which is just staggering to contemplate how many people are dealing with diabetes. Now, this number here, 2019, you notice it said the prevalence was 28.5 million who were diagnosed among 18 years and older, 28.5 million. Well, I went to the CDC today just to see what they had to say. And then the numbers were very similar, but higher. So that was what, 28.5. And now it says 18 years or older. This is the figures from 2020, 2001 to 2020. Okay. It says 37.3 million. That's only 1 year's difference. Let's look back at this again. Okay. The prevalence of diabetes in 2019, 28.5 million, it says. That was the 2019 figure. The 2020 figure, 37.3 million have diabetes. Now, 28.7 of them have been diagnosed. 8.5 million have not been diagnosed and don't know that they have it yet. So that maybe that's the combined total that was not mentioned in Dr. Prasad's figures. So look at the box on the right there. 1 in 5 people, 37.3 million Americans have diabetes, and 1 in 5 don't know it. Then down on the very bottom, total pre-diabetes. And this is where the number that to me is the scariest number. 96 million US adults have pre-diabetes. They're in the pipeline for diabetes. So we're talking about a disease. Do the math. Do the math. That's 133 million people. 133.3. 133.3 million people in the United States alone. That's 1/3 the United States population. So 1 out of 3 have diabetes or heading toward diabetes. It's a serious problem. The cost of diabetes alone is staggering. You notice what it says in the bottom half, right? If you include the cost of treatment of undiagnosed and pre-diabetes, $403 billion is the cost of treatment for that. None of that was difficult for us to understand. But here's where Dr. Prasad got a little bit technical. And if my computer was right, I was going to play a clip of what Dr. Prasad said at this section. But let's just take a look at it here first. Glucose transporter protein 4 transports glucose from the blood to the cell where it fuses with the cell membrane. Technical, right? Let's look at this next slide. I think this kind of, it may help me to understand it a little bit better. Okay? So glucose transporter protein 4. What that is a component on the cell. If you look on the very bottom half of the screen below the blood vessel, well, here, this is the pancreas, okay? This is the pancreas over here. The pancreas is releasing what look like keys. You see that? Those are keys. And it's those beta receptors that's on the pancreas that detects the presence of sugar. And once it detects the presence of sugar, that's these little white cubes here inside the bloodstream, then it releases this insulin, and the insulin flows right into the bloodstream. The sugar comes as a result of eating. So on the left side of the screen, you can see that after you eat, the food gets converted into sugar. That's what happens. And the more sugar we eat, the higher the levels of sugar. But the food we eat does cause an increase in sugar because the food converts to glucose. That's usable energy for the body. So you look at the bloodstream going from left to right there, right? That's blood flowing. And in the blood, what's flowing in there are cubes of sugar and the keys. Those little keys are insulin. That's insulin. So what was Dr. Prasad saying when he made that technical statement there? Glucose transporter protein 4. GLUT4. What is that? Transports glucose from the blood to cell where it fuses with the cell membrane. And then went on, he said, an elevated sugar level in the blood signals pancreas beta cells to send insulin, which travels from the blood and so on. This is the illustration of what Dr. Prasad said. But look at the next slide. If we can get to the next slide to move. Come on, computer, act right. Okay, hang on one second, folks. Okay. So right here, this kind of gives you a little bit closer view of it. That glucose transporter protein. You see the little dark blue spot on the side of the cell? On this illustration, it's called a glucose channel. That's what Dr. Prasad was talking about. That's that GLUT4, glucose transporter protein. It attaches itself to a cell. Now, these cells are in the body. That could be a muscle cell. It could be a fat cell. Any cell, some tissue in your body that needs to be nourished. And every cell in the body needs to be nourished. So this happens everywhere in the whole body, everywhere. So when you're talking your skin, everywhere, there's a cell that has this glucose channel on it. The only way for that cell to absorb the glucose, right? Those little red things on the bottom, little red diamonds on the bottom is the glucose. They can only go through that channel if insulin acting as a key unlocks it. So insulin acting as a key turns the lock and allows the glucose to go in. That's what happens. So if we look back here at this one, you can see the key going into the little spot right there. And then that's what allows the little cube of glucose to be able to penetrate and enter into the cell. That's what Dr. Prasad was saying. Now, the part that that was not clear in my mind, that we did not get to see, was the fact that oxidation. Well, let's just go on to the next part. These are some of the major complications of diabetes. So when it doesn't work right, when those cells are not absorbing glucose properly, when the body's not functioning this way, these are the conditions that eventually develop. Because remember, cells need to be nourished. If cells are not being nourished, they start to degrade. When they start to degrade, if they're connected to an organ, the organ does not work as well. That's where all these problems come from. It's because the cells aren't being nourished properly. The causes of it: oxidative stress, free radical damage. That's what Dr. Prasad talked about. Now, he itemized all the different conditions that on the previous page, but none of that was difficult to understand. Retinopathy, nephropathy, which is kidney problems. And in fact, you'll hear about kidney problems in the testimonial that we'll play in just a few minutes. You'll hear about kidney problems associated with diabetes. Neuropathy, that's the nerve damage problem. Then heart attack and stroke. 90% of the people develop this disease, foot damage and so on, leading to amputations. But again, so much of this is caused by oxidative stress and free radical damage. Look at the bottom section again. See, we're back to this thing here he kept talking about, this glucose transporter protein 4. Remember, it's just that blue little, it's like a doorway to the cell. That's all that is. It's a doorway to the cell. And the lock, the key to the lock, is an insulin molecule. Okay? So if the glucose transporter and the insulin receptors are damaged by oxidative stress, the cell membrane causes an accumulation of glucose in the blood. Damaged insulin receptors cannot allow the release of the GLUT4, with glucose causing accumulation of glucose in the blood. It causes the glucose, the sugar, to back up in the blood. And you know what happens when sugar is elevated in the blood. Dr. Prasad went on to talk about prevention strategy that included, in the discussion, microdaily and probiotic boost. Microdaily ameliorates the oxidative stress part of the problem. And he spent time talking about that. It's the oxidative stress that creates the issue. That's where the problem is. It's the oxidative stress. Microdaily, especially the EMF, is the strongest one. Takes care of that. Probiotic boost, well, look at what it says. This arrow here, look at this one. It says microdaily protects GLUT4, right? That's the transporter, the glucose transporter on the cell, and the insulin receptors. Now you understand what they are, because none of that made any sense to me. None of it made any sense. So the glucose receptor on the cell and the lock that the insulin goes into, it protects them, it says, by reducing oxidative stress and chronic inflammation, while probiotics with prebiotics would shift the balance in favor of beneficial bacteria in the gut. That's what we learned from the expert on glutathione last week. So here's the illustration. Probiotic boost is helping the gut to process food properly, shifts the balance of good versus bad bacteria so the gut can process healthy foods and process it properly. And then microdaily assists with the oxidative stress portion of it. That way the insulin receptors, have you ever tried to go to unlock a lock, like a padlock that's been rusted, it's out in the elements for a while? You've got to take a hammer to that thing and beat it just to try to knock some of the rust loose. Maybe some of you women haven't done that, but that's what men will do. or get a bolt cutter and cut that thing off. But if you want to make that lock work, if you're patient, you'll spray some WD-40 on it and just let it wait and penetrate, and then it'll loosen it all up. That's what microdaily is doing to make sure that the insulin can penetrate the insulin receptor and be able to unlock the cell so the glucose can penetrate. That's the whole point of it. That's what microdaily is doing. Okay, here's the illustration of oxidative stress. Just wrap your mind around this. If a cell starts to turn rusty, it just degrades. That's the picture that we see all the way on the right. A healthy cell is the one on the left. That's a normal cell. That's what you want. If you've got a normal, healthy cell, the insulin can unlock it and the glucose can penetrate. But if it's damaged by oxidative stress, it just does not work as well. That's the whole point of it. See, because if that insulin receptor gets damaged, it's just like, and the key just will not slip in there properly, the glucose cannot penetrate properly. So that's the importance of having microdaily as part of the conversation. Current drug treatment, Dr. Prasad went on to mention the issue with current drug treatment. He says they've made progress with it. They've made a lot of progress. They slow, well, he goes on to say here, diabetic-related complications do develop rather slowly, despite the fact that most patients take as much as 4 to 5 drugs a day. They're lowering the glucose and A1C, but they do not affect oxidative stress and chronic inflammation. Therefore, read the last sentence. The disease continues to progress. And we know that that's the case. Anyone who's had a family member with diabetes, we know that it ends one way. Eventually, they have every single one of the complications that we discussed earlier. It's a matter of time before they start having vision problems. It's a matter of time before they start having blood pressure issues. A matter of time because kidney problems are associated with it. It's just a matter of time. Eventually, they end up on dialysis. And if they start dialyzing, it's just a matter of time before the stress of that leads to an inevitable outcome. Diabetes is horrible. They haven't been able to cure it. There is no cure for diabetes. The treatments keep a person on their feet and keep them functioning, but there's no cure. Dr. Prasad suggested a way to improve the treatment of diabetes. Improvement of drug treatment. So again, microdaily, collagen daily, and probiotics. These are not cures or treatment for disease. But Dr. Prasad suggested that these may help with the drug treatment, help improve the efficacy of the drugs that are being used to treat diabetes. So he went on to describe each one of them. The one that I think that stood out to me was the sentence in the middle, right? Talk a little bit about the first paragraph, microdaily, and reducing oxidative stress and reducing inflammation. Did you hear what Roberta said in that very first testimonial? Now, she had an outrageous example of inflammation. Her right knee was swollen. She could not stand up. She said since April, she couldn't stand on her right leg. A short period of time, I think she said just 2 weeks after taking microdaily, the swelling on her right knee went down. She could not only stand, she could bounce on it, and then she started walking miles again. That's a really big, no pun intended, example of inflammation being reduced. That happens inside the body in smaller ways that affect how the cells work. Microdaily assist the body with its effort to balance the immune function. That's what it does. Because the inflammation is the immune system trying to solve a problem and releasing so much cytokines and never coming to a resolution. But microdaily helps it to come to a resolution. That's what makes it do what it does. Collagen peptide, that's the second paragraph. improves the production of insulin by reducing the activity of enzyme DPP4, which decreases the production of insulin. So there's an enzyme in the body that causes the pancreas to produce an insufficient amount of insulin. Collagen peptides have been proven to block that. Want to see the evidence? Dr. Prasad presented it. He told us about this double-blind placebo-controlled study with collagen peptide. He went over this in detail. We're not going to cover it all, but look at the results of it. Dr. Prasad covered it. He said, the conclusion of this double-blind placebo study, which is the best type of study you could possibly have. It wasn't on collagen daily, but it was about collagen peptides. Fasting glucose, the drug group, they're just using drugs. They were able to get their glucose levels down to 125. Adding collagen peptides to that group brought it down to 105. The A1C in the drug group was 6. Adding collagen peptide brought it down to 5. Insulin resistance decreased from 6 to 5 just by adding collagen peptide to the conversation. Do you see the percentage of improvement? That's a marked improvement. So the drugs work better by adding collagen peptides to the conversation. So here's what Dr. Prasad concluded. He said that the enzyme DPP4 that reduces the production of insulin, therefore inhibitors of this DPP4 enzyme would improve the production of insulin and decrease the levels of glucose in the blood. Therefore, they are prescribed in the treatment of diabetes type 2. Did you hear that? They have a drug right now that's extracted from collagen peptides that's used to inhibit DPP4. They've got a drug that does that to make the body more susceptible to insulin, produce more insulin. Look at the last sentence in that first paragraph. Such drugs also produce serious adverse side effects. The last sentence, paragraph, collagen peptides inhibit the activity of DPP4, but it's non-toxic. That's what it does to me. Anyway, that should be a major aha for anyone with type 2 diabetes. And we might have missed that when Dr. Prasad was going over it because the man just so technical and so deep. But that's what he concluded. So his concluding remarks were microdaily EMF in combination with probiotics with prebiotics could be useful in the prevention of diabetes type 2. Microdaily EMF in combination with collagen peptides and probiotics with prebiotics could improve the effectiveness of drugs in reducing the progression of diabetes and diabetes-related complications in diabetes type 2. That's quote, end quote, from Dr. Kedar Prasad. So I added this slide just so you could get a visual of it. Dr. Prasad's choice, when he gives a recommendation for something, is not just talking about trying to sell anything. This has got nothing to do with selling. This is all telling. This is all information that could make a huge difference in people's lives. In fact, it is making a big difference in people's lives, even as we speak. So we're going to share with you one more testimonial that I think illustrates everything that Dr. Prasad related to us last week. So if for some reason my computer does not do this properly, then Jeff will share his version of the same testimonial. But I want you guys to see this particular one because Nick did such a good job of editing it. That's why I want you to have this one. Okay, so let's see if it works.
All right, now this was in July. All right, my brother-in-law, he's got diabetes, high blood pressure, and stage 4 kidney disease. Okay, and they both been on micro daily about, I'm gonna say about a month and a half. total. Okay, they started in, let's say, August 6th. So September, yeah, about a month and a half, almost 2 months. Now my brother-in-law, man, I don't even know what to say about this. His blood sugar is leveled out. He's still at 114, 125. That was, before when he woke up, he tested it, and it was at 300, 350. After about 4 or 5 days of being on micro daily EMF, it went down between 114 and 125. He was happy just about that. All right, now his high blood pressure has leveled out. Okay, to where, he's scared to take his medicine for his high blood pressure. I said, no, go ahead and take it, dude. I said, you take your medicine, let the doctors tell you not to take it. All right. Now, yesterday, he got stage 4 kidney disease, and he's going Wednesday for his checkup on it. He went and got his blood test, and we've been waiting on the score back from it's called the EGRF number, which tells you when you need to go on dialysis. His number last month was 15, which is 1 away from going on dialysis. Last night, when he got back yesterday, we checked his my chart. You ready for this, man? He'd been on it a month and a half. His number went from 15 to 26.
Did the doctor go back and check it again just to make sure?
We ain't went to the doctor yet. That was they sent him for a blood test a week before his appointment. So I myself is going with him on October the 5th to his appointment, and I want to see what the doctor has to say about what he's been doing.
Take a recorder.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So, but yeah, I was waiting. I said, don't let it stay the same or grow a point or two, because I will not shut up about micro daily. It went up 11 points, so I'm ecstatic. He's ecstatic. We was like, oh my goodness. So yeah, because I checked I got my little printout right here, man. I was going over it with Willie, and I said, look, mine's at 78 the last time they checked it. His went up 11 points. So I told Rob, man, I've been telling everybody. I mean, I got my flag planning, dude. Everybody and their mama's gonna know about micro daily from Greg. I can tell you that, brother.
Well, that's a bittersweet piece of news there, Greg, because what you just said indicates that my other mother, if she had just continued, instead of heading toward dialysis, could have been a different outcome.
The reason I firmly believe they was wanting to cut on his arm, on his left arm, to put that little, I guess, device in there for his dialysis. And they was like, well, they already told him, well, you're going to need dialysis anyway. Let's go ahead and get you started on that and get your report ready. And then, because it's going to take 4 to 6 weeks for it to heal. I was like, he's 1 point away. What happens if he needs dialysis now? And, he said, I'm going to wait until my doctor's appointment and see what the micro daily does.
Yeah.
I said, might as well. So he waited, and it went up 11 points. So I'm ecstatic. I didn't go to sleep last night at 3 o'clock.
That's incredible. Okay, that's just, again, these are just samplings of stories. And remember, folks, testimonials are purely anecdotal. What happens to one person may or may not happen to you. You don't know the clinical circumstances surrounding anyone's circumstances or what they did and everything else that may be involved. But we're hearing these stories, these kinds of stories over and over and over again. Okay, so if you want to get micro daily, collagen daily, probiotic boost, or that entire Dr. Prasad's choice, the $257, which is what we highly recommend. Get on it for 90 days and see what it does for you. Get back with the person who invited you to this discussion, and they will help you. They'll help you to set up your own subscription. So commit to 90 days. Just try it out for 90 days. The company has a 90-day money-back guarantee, by the way. So it's not like you're putting anything at risk. The the biggest chance you're getting is that you actually may be able to fire your doctor. I mean, unless you just really like your doctor, but you might actually be able to move on and take control of your life. You just never know. Okay, so we're going to pause right here and see if there's any questions about any of the things that we've talked about, or if you have some other story that you'd like to share. I see Francis was the first hand to go up. Do you have a question there that you'd like to ask, Francis?
Is this a regular call every Sunday at
Every
this time?
Every Sunday at 5:00. Yes, we're going to be.
Because I keep trying to put it in my calendar, or in my phone, so I can find all of these, and I didn't get on until it was already 15 minutes into it, and I thought, oh, it's today right now. So, okay, so but it's a regular call at 5:00 every Sunday.
Every Sunday.
Okay.
You can
Okay.
look on your screen right now, and you see where it says YouTube.
On my screen where it says what? My screen.
Where it says YouTube, where it's recording right now. It's live streaming on YouTube. Do you see that? Where you see the word YouTube on the top left of your screen?
I see the word live.
You should be able to click on that, and it will bring up an option for you to copy the live stream
It
link.
does say copy streaming link. So that means I can get the whole thing.
You can paste it into your browser and go start at the beginning right now.
Aren't you dear? Thank you so much. Wonderful.
Yep. That's a great way to be
Okay.
able to save it. The recording is there. You can share that with somebody else that you think would have benefited from hearing this presentation.
Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
You're quite welcome.
I will lower my hand. Thank you.
Did I see another hand there? My screen just went away. Sorry about that, because I'm looking for the next Dr. Prasad invitation.
Cool
for you.
TLC.
Yeah,
Go
there
ahead.
we go. Go ahead, cool TLC.
Hey, what's up? Good evening, everybody. Question and observant of the micro daily. I just wanted to say the micro daily, since I've been on it, when you was talking about neuropathy, amazing. And the reason I'm saying that, because if you're diabetic, most people that are diabetic deal with neuropathy. Tried everything, under the sun to relieve it, did everything everybody said, still didn't, do nothing. But this micro daily, man, went from pain at night to basically my feet being heavy, and being heavy meaning that I don't feel that sensation of numbness. Meaning that I got more back circulation to my legs from the micro daily, and I'm only been on it probably a week and a half.
Wow.
And it's I still get every now and then, you get the sharp pain. Anybody dealing with neuropathy when that sharp pain hits you, you either gonna get out the bed or you gonna get up and try to walk around.
Yep.
And try to do everything, stump your foot on the floor, jump up and down to try to get rid of the pain and put it somewhere else. So the micro daily is amazing on that asset. My thing with the and just asking this question, because like everybody, mostly people dealing with diabetes, a lot of people are doing it before they get to the stage of dialysis. And I was on dialysis for 7 years and just got off and just got a kidney.
Oh, wow.
So my thing right now is just bringing some light to it. And I know we had discussed it before, but I just want to bring some light to it about how to maintain a transplant along with micro daily, and what's the benefits of it, working with, because your immune system is suppressed, and it will be suppressed for life, not just for temporary, because you don't want the cells to fight against that foreign object, which is a kidney. It's not yours.
Right.
So I just wanted to bring that light and just, give somebody need to hear it, and somebody's going through it. So I just wanted to bring that light to
Absolutely.
them, Jonathan.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. And Dr. Prasad has said that he's found that taking micro daily does not cause the body to reject an organ transplanted. So it helps it to assimilate better, he said. So that's what his observations have been thus far. And so you're actually providing some very constructive feedback for that. So thank you very much for that cool TLC. Anne Vancouver has a comment or question. Don't forget to unmute. Looks like we may have lost Anne. Sorry about that. Okay, Horace Daniel.
Horace Daniel, yes.
Horace, okay, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I just want to say how amazing the microcollagen and the micronutrient, micro daily original really works. We ordered our product, got it last Wednesday. Okay, I have a problem with my legs swelling up, the ankles swelling up. When I started to walk, I was stumbling like a drunk man from time to time. Then I had to finally use a cane. Eyes got kind of blurry. Well, to make a long story short, we started taking the product on Wednesday evening. And 4 days later, the swelling in my ankles and legs disappeared. My sight cleared up. I was able to get rid of the cane, even though I sort of stumbled just slightly, but not as profoundly as I was before. And so I'm telling you, I am just amazed at this product. And we ran out. We ran out of the microcollagen, and my ankles and legs started to swell again. Well, the product came Saturday of this week, and we started to take it again. The swelling went down. So these products are amazing.
Wow. Thank you very much for sharing your story. Did you mention, by the way, did you mention what your diagnosis is? What's your clinical condition?
You said it, what is it called? Lymph something, what do you call it?
Lymphedema?
Lymphedema. Yeah, lymphedema.
Okay. That's incredible. Thank you. Thank you very much for.
Also, his wife had some response too that I think you would love to hear, Jonathan.
He was gonna say.
Okay.
Bernard.
Go ahead, Mama Horse.
Did he spell his name wrong? Horace.
That's why I was having trouble with it. Okay, go ahead.
He spelled it wrong. Look at it. Okay. Anyway, my name is Beverly Donnell. And just like my husband said, we started taking it last week, Wednesday. I was feeling some different, but I am a skeptic, okay? So I refused to say anything. I didn't say anything about how I was feeling. I had a boating accident and I fractured the vertebrates in my back. Well, those things heal, but they turn into arthritis, when you break a bone.
Yep.
Yeah, so, I was in constant pain. I drive a school bus and I'm bouncing all the time. And it just was excruciating pain. I went and started getting shots in my back, supposedly. Well, lo and behold, when I started getting the shots, now I got diabetes, I got high blood pressure, I got all kinds of things that I'm saying, what? I didn't have any of this before, but it developed into these things. So I'm on all of this medication. I take the medication, I am zonked out for 3 hours every time I take it during the day. Well, got the micro daily collagen. My back stopped hurting. I don't have the headaches. I stopped taking it in the daytime. I take it at night now, and I can take it at night. And I'm not just zonked out all day from the medication. I'm doing much, much better, except for when we ran out. My advice, don't run out. Don't run out. You run out, you're gonna pay for it. So keep up with keeping what you need in your system, build your system up, keep it that way, and you will feel excellent.
That's wonderful. Thank you very much, Beverly, for sharing your story. I think a lot of us have learned, some of us learned the hard way. Stay ahead of it, and make sure your shipment stays ahead. Do not run the risk. And I've been encouraging everyone, all of our clients, to build yourself up a reservoir 2 or 3 months out. Don't just be a week ahead, a day or two ahead. You want to build up a month or 2 or 3 ahead. So when I start seeing my bottles running low, I start getting nervous because I do not want to go back down those roads. So I'm with you on that one. Thank you very much, both of you, for sharing your amazing stories. And remember again, folks, testimonials are purely anecdotal. What happens to one person may or may not happen to you. We're not making any claims that Micro Daily, Collagen Daily, or any of the Engaged Global products are a treatment or cure for any disease state. But it is the food that's been missing from our food for a long time. Amazing to get nutrients back in our diet. Sharon Robinson, please.
Yes, I have a question in reference to Mr. Cool. I think Cool. I forgot his other abbreviation. The gentleman that was talking about that he got a kidney.
Oh yeah, Cool TLC.
Okay, thank you. I had like 2 friends. Of course, they're hesitant or whatever.
Right.
They had got a kidney like several years ago, maybe 10, 15 years ago, whatever. So now their kidneys have failed. And so now they got to go back on the dialysis. So I was just wondering, is there any documentation from Dr. Prasad or how the gentleman was talking about taking care of your kidney? Is there any of the products, the Micro Daily, can it like boost and maybe regenerate the kidney or make the kidney to accept or what?
That's a very good question, Sharon. But keep in mind that even as of now, we can't make any claims that any of these supplements are going to treat or cure any disease. All we're talking about is putting nutrients back in the body. So if the person's been told not to eat food, then they shouldn't take Micro Daily. But if the doctor says it's okay to eat food, then it's okay to take Micro Daily. And all it's going to do is reduce oxidative stress, reduce free radical damage, and help the body receive nutrients properly. That's it.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. But if we find any information at all that's been documented that would even hint toward it, then we'll make sure we bring that up, okay? All right. You're very welcome. Tony Barnett. Oh, by the way, anecdotal testimonies, Sharon, sometimes they can go a long way with helping a person. So if you share the recording where someone actually told their story, their personal story, sometimes that will help a person to to be able to make a decision one way or the other. Okay, please, Tony Barnett, your question or comment.
I just have a question. I had a stroke about 6 years ago. I'm also just getting over prostate cancer. I have weakness in my legs and soreness in my hips. Would any of this product help me in any way?
It won't hurt you at all in the least bit. And ask yourself a question. Would having the highest level of nutrients on the planet benefit my body? Okay. And if you can answer yes to that question, I guarantee you'll see some improvement. If eating hamburgers from a fast food restaurant every day would take your health down, what would happen if you were eating high quality food from a gourmet chef that was all organic and no pesticides and no GMO products? You think high quality food would make a difference? I believe so. What Micro Daily is doing is putting the food back in your food. It takes garbage level food and puts it through the roof as far as nutrition is concerned. But now, what you might want to consider doing is get on the Dr. Prasad choice. So I'd highly recommend you go on that for 90 days. It's $257, and it will be the best investment you ever made in your health. Many people are finding that their energy levels have improved. Many people are coming back and telling us that they're walking better. Many people are telling us that their pain levels are going down. Many people are saying over and over and over again that they're turning back the clock and feeling like they did 10, 15, 20, and 30 years ago. That's what many folks are telling us. Okay.
I would like that. I would
And
love that.
I can't wait to hear you tell the story. So hurry up and get your order in, and then come back in 2 weeks and let us know how it worked.
I sure will. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Thank you. Thank you very much for raising your question and being willing to come on to our program here today. So, folks, we just passed the limit of our time. We try to keep the program down to 1 hour out of respect for you and your time, and we can't thank you all enough for being willing to join us. But before you leave, and remember, folks, the information that's been provided here is for information and educational purposes only. And I strongly recommend that you seek the competent medical advice of professionals that you trust, and understand I am not a medical doctor and don't claim to be one. And don't do anything I say just because I say do it. But if you want to have some information that you can take into consideration when it comes to making decisions about your health and well-being, we're providing that. Okay, we're providing that information for you and for your benefit to take it into consideration. You can feel free to even talk to your doctor about it. Most of the time, the doctors will acknowledge that they'll say it's just a vitamin, is what they'll say. But what they don't know is the history behind it. What they don't know is that Dr. Prasad had to prove to the military IRB, the Internal Review Board, that there would be no contraindications with any known pharmaceutical drugs. They don't know that part, but you now know. So it won't contraindicate with anything that your doctor is trying to do for you. In fact, it will help you. You'll be helping your doctor help you, is what the bottom line will be. Okay, so you can take a screenshot of this because this is the discussion that we'll be having with Dr. Prasad. So if you're wondering, is there any application in pets? Now, this is only showing little household pets, this flyer, but some people have horses that are pets. I don't know if anybody else has emus and all those other kind of creatures, but the entire range of benefits to animals will be at least touched on. And Dr. Prasad has already especially prepared a PowerPoint presentation for us for next week. So he's really kind of making sure that we get detailed, accurate information with his presentation. So take a screenshot of that and make sure that you spread the word, put it on social media, let everybody know. If they care about their animals, then Dr. Prasad is going to be giving us a nice presentation next Sunday at 5 o'clock on the same Zoom information. All the information is still the same. My meetings are Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. Every Tuesday, every Thursday, every Sunday, 7 p.m., 6 p.m., 5 p.m. respectively. Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, 7, 6, 5 Eastern Standard Time. All the times of my meetings, and you're more than welcome to come. The Zoom ID never changes. The password never changes. Okay. All right. So let's see. There's one more question from Francis. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Hi, I'm just back again. Yes, I know that the veterans are able to get a 50% discount from the products. Are active military considered the same? I would think so, but I don't know for sure.
I don't know, but I believe so. I think all you have to do is have a military card.
Jonathan,
Jeff,
this
go ahead,
is
please.
Jeff. It's only for veterans. It's not for active military.
Oh, just veterans. Okay. All right. I appreciate knowing that. Thank you.
All right. There we go. Okay. So once
This
again,
has
for the
been
record,
wonderful.
folks,
Thank
my name is Jonathan Jones. It's been my pleasure, my privilege to be your host and moderator for this afternoon. And I look forward to having you back again with us on our next meetings. You're more than welcome to have access to the recording. Share it with anyone that you think would have benefited from this presentation. So for those of you who are interested in the Engage Global business, we're going to have a brief business meeting in just about 3 minutes at the most. So you're more than welcome to stick around. We're going to be talking about business with Engage Global. Okay. Other than that, you folks have a good night. This is the end of our presentation.
Oh, thanks. Thank you very much. It was wonderful.
Good night. All right, James.
Bye.
Let's
Good night.
Let's go.
I beat you, Daryl.
But not like Daryl though.
You absolutely
Hey,
right.
Jeff and Helen.
Bye, everyone.
Good night. Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Thanks, Jonathan.
Good night.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm. It was excellent.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's take a little time here and talk about the business. And
Okay.
and thank you very much, Jeff, for co-hosting. Always do a stellar job with that. What would we do without Jeff? Bernard. So let's chat for a minute here, Bernard. Where are you?
Let's go. Let's go for it.
Yeah, let's chat here for just a minute, okay?
Okay.
As far as this business opportunity is concerned, for those of you who don't know, Bernard Dean and I go back a number of decades. I first met Bernard back on January the 2nd. It might have been January the 3rd in 1982. It's the first time I met him. We were working we were doing volunteer work up in upstate New York at the time. And my roommate, one of my best friends was his roommate. So that's how we got to know each other. And I drew the conclusion right off the bat that this man was crazy, certifiable. So, and that meant that we were going to be friends for life. That's the bottom line, is what that was going to be. So full circle, we circle around, and turns out we're all doing different things. And we've been talking about things for many, many years, but I was surprised that Bernard had been extremely successful in network marketing. So Bernard, can you maybe just answer briefly, give us a couple of minutes, the Cliff Note version of it. What is it that makes a person successful in network marketing? What does that?
That's a good question, Jonathan. You know, when I was first introduced to this, and again, like you were saying, keeping it brief is really the key. Even when you do an explanation, keeping it brief. When I first came into this industry, I think one of the things that was appealing to me that it doesn't take much to financially get involved in things that involve in network marketing. And I became interested in a particular product and decided to take on that product and go out and talk about it. And I never forget, my wife kind of looked at me crazy when I first started out doing it. I was only getting $15 and $20 checks a month, but I was enjoying doing what I was doing. And in the third month, I made a substantial check that she looked at and she says, "Is this real?" And the results were that I found that being brief, telling people the truth, enthusiasm, and sharing is really the key. And over the matter of the last few decades, I've made quite a bit of success in network marketing.
Very good. So there's so many companies out there. I mean, to this day, Avon is still alive, I believe. Amway is still alive. At least once or twice a year, I get solicited for Melaleuca. At least once or twice a year.
They're huge. They're huge.
Yeah, someone is telling me about Melaleuca. And then there's hundreds of others.
True.
What is it? What, in your opinion, tell me two things about Engage Global that makes you step away from and ignore all the other so-called amazing opportunities out there and position yourself, align yourself with Engage Global. Two things.
Okay. First of all, I have been involved in a number of companies. A lot of us have, and people have not made money with these companies, but companies don't care as long as you buy their products. But with me, I've been with a couple of companies in the last 13 years, but nothing really I was really interested in. When I came across Microdaily, it took me a good 5-6 years to try it. And the thing that I think is number one, and everybody on here have to realize this, you only get excited about things that work. 99.9% of the stuff out here do not work. And that's the reason why if you're in here for the money only, you'll be here for a very, very brief time. But once you know a product works and you get healthy, that's huge for me. But two other things that I look at. So the integrity of the product, and I look at the company. Does it have stability in the industry? This company been around 10 years, but yet now it's just getting started with really people that beginning to know they're out here. That's huge. And the last thing that really solidified everything with me was meeting the CEO and all the different people in this company. Once I saw the integrity aspect, I introduced all my people, and I've only been here about a little bit over three months, maybe 3.5 months. And I brought in a number of people, and they are loving doing what they're doing. If you don't love doing what you're doing, you probably need to find something else to do. So we're sharing, caring, and we're making a success of this company.
That's interesting. So the quality of the product was the first thing you mentioned. And the second thing you mentioned was the integrity of the company. And it's true, because there's so many companies out there that don't last very long. And I think that that was one of our first conversations. I believe you asked me that question in one of our first conversations. And I said, Bernard,
Yeah.
It's a 10-year-old startup. You said, what? 10 years old, and it's just barely getting started. No one has even maxed out the comp plan yet. And Bernard, listen, folks, his neck almost snapped.
It did.
No one had maxed it out yet. I said the top right now is Jeff Ashby, Jeff and his wife Helen, and they're at the first level of the top. So there's Ambassador 1, 2, and 3. They're at Ambassador 1. Now we're about to blow them through Ambassador 3. I mean, it won't take them long with the rate that things are going to be going, but no one had done it yet. After 10 years, if there's under the people who study this industry say, if there's less than 100,000 distributors in a company, then you got an opportunity.
Sure.
You've got an opportunity. There's not even 10,000 distributors in this company after 10 years. So it is a ground floor opportunity. It's a 10-year-old startup. So you didn't say anything about the compensation plan, but I'm going to ask you, what is it about the compensation plan that makes your toes wiggle? If your toes wiggle.
Yeah, actually it does. And you know what was interesting about this company is most of the people I brought on board have been with companies for years, and they've never made any substantial income.
$40,
$50,
$60.
Well, $40 here, $50 there, whatever. But in the last, especially 2 months, I brought people on board that, first of all, they are super excited about the product. How do you know it's a great product? Is when you start telling all your friends about it, and friends notice that instead of walking bent over, that you're walking straight up. And the proof is really in the results of the product. So this is the first time since I've been in this industry, which was the early 80s, this is the first time I've ever been with a company that people were calling me up in tears and thanking me for introducing them to this product. So as a result, what was interesting was everyone, and everybody on here need to hear me on this, every one of my people came from being a customer. They came from being a customer. How did I know that it was time for them to graduate to be an affiliate? And that's a question I'm commonly asked. And here's how you know people have graduated to be an affiliate, is when they call you up over and over again because somebody else want to know about the product, and they want you to join them to explain about the product. Then I look and say, you know what? Here's an opportunity for you to get your product free. And they say, how can I do that? And I explain it to them. And then they have an option. I say, you can stay a customer or you can get your product free. Okay, here's a way in which you can make a little income. Maybe pay something very brief. Get a little bit extra dollars, because some people get an extra $200 or $300 a month. They're very happy. And in this case, everyone I introduced within 6 to 8 weeks had probably over $300 in their account. Horace, you saw come on. Horace and Bev came on only 2.5 weeks ago. And Horace has never made any income in all the years he's been in this industry. He called me up and he said, Bernard, he said, I introduced this to some people. I did a few sales. I have over $350 in my account. And this week, Horace will probably have over $1,000 in his account. Now, how many people on here would have to admit that you can stand an extra $500 or $1,000? If you think you can't, Wait till you get to that gas pump and see $100 pop up there to fill up your gas tank. Or what if you want to pay a few bills or whatever, and you're just getting extra few dollars? All of this, to me, Micro Daily, Engage Global could not have come along at a better time, because the dynamics of the factors are there. You got an industry where their health is going down. People are quitting jobs or don't want to come. They're scared of road rage, going back to work with road rage, stopping at gas stations, and they have more month than the money left at the end of the month. A lot of people are saying, you know what, I don't want to jump in people's face anymore because I'm catching stuff that I can't even pronounce. Whoever thought that monkeypox would be out here and then ravishing things? But now all of a sudden we learned about this, and at a time where people's health is going down, Micro Daily got health going up. Then we have all these presentations. I've never seen a company. When I hear Jeff and Helen on there, or hear Corley and all these people that you got yourself, and the training is there. Wow, Jonathan, I have to say, I have to stop talking about it, because I say it with a little bit with tears, because at a time where it was very hard, at a horrible time in my life, this company came along 3 months ago, and now it was rainy yesterday, but the sun is out today.
It's shining today.
It's shining today.
You're talking about money. I still remember when I went to the pump to fill up my car. I got the SUV, and the thing spit out this finance agreement payment. So I had to fill out this form and almost apply for a loan just to fill up the car with gas. It was horrible. I'd never seen $6 a gallon for gas. I'd never seen anything like that before. But I'm walking away with almost paying $200 just to fill up the car. Yeah, that was outrageous. So the timing could not be any better. So what you're describing right now, Bernard, and I think what everybody who's thinking about this as an opportunity needs to understand, is that there are rare times in life and rare times in this industry where you truly do have what's called the perfect storm.
True.
It's rare.
True. Very rare. Very rare. I've only had this happen one time with one product, and I can be honest on this because now this is a business to me. I had one product that I pushed, and I say push because they didn't get results for maybe about 6 weeks, but it pushed me to quite a bit of money actually per month. In 3 years, I was able to take $100 investment and make it $24,000 to $27,000 a month. And people asked me, at the time I was doing it, I was at the fire department. So I mean, between the fire department and that, I was at $30,000 a month. Now, I don't say that to brag or anything like that, because that's money past. I'm saying you need to learn from the experiences of what you did in the past. So how did I do it? I saw a few people, which 5 or 6 people, grow into 7,000 people within 3 years.
Yeah.
And what it was, I only had 5 or 6 people that said, I want to work this business. And of course, if you want to work a business, what's the first thing you have to do? You have to learn the tools of the trade. What's the tools of the trade? Go in that back office, learn what your products are about. Learn what the comp plan is about. Learn about Dr. Prasad. Dr. Prasad, this is the first time I've ever seen someone that designed a product that you can go back and you see accolades running all the way from 1981 all the way up until now. And you don't have to go to the company website. You can go on the outside and read it. So for me, the scientific validation separates us from 99.9% of everybody out there. And the only way you can become proficient is know your trade, practice it, and learn to hear no. And don't accept no as being no. No means not now.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of important to keep in mind. It just could mean not today. We were talking the other night on the business meeting Thursday night, and I asked the group, just what's your biggest, your top problems, and 3 things came out. Three things. The first one was, how do I get more people? Number 1. The second one was, how do I get people off neutral and get them to move forward? Number 2. And then the third one, what was that third one? The third one, I don't remember the third one. It'll come up later. But
Take a memory boost. Take a brain boost.
Yeah.
Pop a brain boost. You'll remember it.
It wasn't a major thing was the big thing about it. So actually, you know what? I know I have my notes right here. What's the best way to get started? You just mentioned to folks the best way to get started. So we can cover that one last. You said just make them a customer first, make them a product of the product. And that was exactly what we said. And for those of you who are on right now wondering about that, the all of it bonus gets paid on whether a person becomes an affiliate or a preferred customer. But the advantage of making them a preferred customer is you get the 5 sample credits. So you might as well take advantage of that. So you make them a preferred customer first, then the company gives you 5 sample credits. And that's what was connected to the second issue that everyone was wondering about. How do I get them to go from being undecided to move forward? The main reason why most people won't move forward with something is because person has to connect with what's in it for me. So if the person is looking for a money solution, that's the only thing that's going to push them. You got to push that button. That's their hot button. You got to do that. But most people today, it's a health issue. Most people need to get some kind of results and see those samples that you got from before, those sample credits. That's how you move somebody forward. Put it in their mouth. Put it in their mouth. Help them to see the swelling go down on their ankles. So I guarantee you right now, Horace and Beverly will never, if you need to borrow some College and Daily, I know what house you can go to get it. If you in, was that Fayetteville? Is that where you are?
South Carolina.
No, I'm in South Carolina, Jonathan.
You're in South Carolina. Okay.
Yeah,
well,
Georgetown, South Carolina.
If you're anywhere near Georgetown, South Carolina, I guarantee you, I know where you can get a couple of scoops of College and Daily because they'll never run out of it.
That's for sure.
No.
You have to bring it back now. You're going to have to bring them 2 scoops back. You're going to have to bring them back, but that's one place you can get them right there. So imagine if you know that someone's going to get results. I have a bottle of Brain Boost sitting right over there. I had an old friend of mine was a customer in another company. The company stopped making this particular energy drink. He called up, what am I going to do? They don't make it anymore. I said, no, they don't. But I know what I use to replace it. It's called Brain Boost. What's that? It's going in an envelope. It's going in an envelope. And does anybody use Brain Boost and find that you're a little bit sharper and that your energy in the morning is good? Anybody find that the case? Oh, you find it to be the case, Bernard. What does Brain Boost do to you in the morning?
You don't want to. It actually keeps me clear. I was going into the room and forgetting what I'm going into the room for.
Sometimers.
Alex Holcomb was one. He does meetings and he will forget where he's at in the meeting. When he called me up one day after the Brain Boost, he says, man, he said, this stuff is amazing. He said, now I remember everywhere where I am. And Alex made me a believer. I listen to all my people. And as a result, I tell you, I make sure every day. And I have to tell you, I'm 68 years old, but I feel like I'm a teenager every day now. And I've never felt this good, I think, in the last 30 years. So I have to say, we get on the product, and I tell everybody on it, I said, you need to get on the product and you need to stay on the product. Because what we do, Jonathan, is people ask me, they say, well, Bernard, how do you deal with people whenever it comes to you dealing with these products? I said, you have to be, first of all, when you get to know your products, you get to know the right combination. Wouldn't you say that's the case, Jonathan? That's absolutely the case. Yeah, because technically, every order that ever goes out from me, a micro daily is always with it. If they're having brain fog and that's their major concern, I know Brain Boost is going. If they're having anxiety problems, pain, trouble sleeping, my CBD is going out there with them. If they, basically just knowing your products, putting the package together, and like you said, the optimum premium Dr. Prasad's package, if they can afford that, it is the best way for them to get to know this product. So in this, it was two twins as a scientist worth about 700 million pieces. They invited me one day to, it was the funniest deal, the House of Pancakes. And I was sitting up there because they were treating me. And they were from Australia. And I never forget the 3 things they said to me. because they were teaching me how to do a business. They said, Bernard, they never would say Bernard. They said, Bernard, there's 3 things you got to remember whenever it comes to business. I said, well, what is it? They say, stay alive, have fun, and make some money. And I'll never forget those 3 things. He says, stay alive, have fun, make money. Now, it's interesting they said that because this company philosophy really should be that. Stay alive by doing what? Taking your products every day. Have fun. If it ain't fun, I'm not going to do it. I'm retired now. I didn't have fun running into a fire. I didn't have fun going out with a shovel, picking people up off the highway. I didn't have fun with people sneezing in my face when I reached down and asked, what's wrong with you? I'm a paramedic still, but I didn't have fun doing all that. But to have fun, to get on the phone or to get on Zoom and present something to people, say, you know what, I'm gonna send you my link. Once you take a look at it, I'm gonna help you out. And they order and they call me back and they say, thank you so much for introducing me to something that finally caused me to empty out all them useless vitamins that I've been taking for years and replace them. So once I saw that happen, I knew that I had met the right people, the right time, the right place, the right comp plan. And people, you found a home with Engage Global.
I 100% agree with you on that one. And we're going to close out on that note. So folks, for those of you who are thinking about the business opportunity, the one thing that I would advise you, get Dr. Prasad's Choice Bundle, first of all. And don't assume that people can only afford a $35 bottle of Brain Boost. Personally, I assume everybody got $1,000. I don't make an apology for starting my conversations at $1,000. For years, I was selling $500 kits, and I was trying to sell 3 of them at a time, period. And that's what I did every single month. I was selling between 3 and 5 of them every single month. New people, I was a recruiting machine. That's what I did. So I don't assume that everybody's in poverty. I just assume that they don't know the value of what I've got. Because if you know what I've got, it's worth way more than you're going to pay for it. If you know what it does. I mean, seriously, if you get injections in your back every single month, injections in your knee, and you still limping, you've got cancer and they whacking off parts of your body. What's it worth to you to keep your body functioning? What's it worth to turn the clock back? Would you give up your car to get 20 years of life back? I would. I'd walk. I'd never drive again. If you tell me I got 20 extra years, I'd never drive again. Give me 20 extra years. And everybody would draw that same conclusion. So I do not believe people have no money. I believe that if they understood the value of something, they'll find it. So always assume with confidence, don't be apologetic, just start right off the bat. Say, listen, it's less than $300 to get started in this business. For less than $300, you can be in business. Just that should be what comes out of your mouth. Under $300, let them bring the number down. You can always go down, don't go up. Start at $300, right off the bat, because that covers your Dr. Prasad Choice kit, and it covers the business startup kit. So, but get them on the Dr. Prasad Choice, and then in a week or 2, then have them convert to an affiliate account. They call it the company. I have folks call the company. I don't make them an affiliate. I put them in as a preferred customer first. Then I give them the assignment to call the company. I give them the number to customer service, and I tell them what to say. If they can't handle that conversation, then they don't need to become an affiliate. But if they can handle that conversation and they do well with it, they now have a relationship with customer service. They know that it's a real company. They know everything is good. Everything worked out just fine, for them. So begin that relationship, with them and the company. And that's a good way to get them started. And then after that, my next statement to person is, okay, now I don't want you to do anything else, but sit down and for the next week, write down every single human being and every issue that that they have. Don't call them, don't do anything. But then we sit down and just start to put together a plan. That's the next thing. Make a plan. This person here, boy, this thing going out the side of their neck, make a plan. This person here, they walking with 2 canes, make a plan. This person here just had a stroke, make a plan. And your plan can include testimonials. Your plan can include get them to one of these meetings on Sunday, Tuesday, or Thursday. Your plan can have them do a 3-way call with your upline. And if you do a 3-way call with your upline, I'm going to ask a question here. Bernard, if you do a 3-way call, if someone calls you up to do a 3-way call, isn't it, how do you feel when they start filling in the gaps and stuff that you left out?
Well, actually now when I'm talking, I try to tell them before we get on there that if you're going to call, I need you to listen and learn, because filling in the gaps can sometimes disrupt that person's learning and they're getting too much at one time.
Amen.
So you want to learn to drink and not to take a fire hose and try to get a glass of water. It doesn't work. So if you're going 3-way, what you want to do is hand it over, mute yourself, and learn from the call. And the goal is to get you to be a presenter. That's the goal, is for you to become a proficient presenter. I don't care how bad you are, eventually you will become that if you listen and learn. You see that sign back behind me? Toastmasters where leaders learn. That's a training program. Wherever you're at, you can join it. And the big thing they got is learn how to speak, learn how to listen, and learn how to think. Toastmasters. And then take that and steal it in your business. And I promise you, it'll be a lifetime of results from that.
That's it. Use your upline. Use your upline. That's your support. Use the tools that we've created. We've created a lot of tools. We've been around a while. You know, you notice that Jeff has been doing a lot of meetings, a tremendous amount of support. So we've collected a lot of videos and put together a lot of presentations so that you'd have the tools. And the company has made sure that we've had a lot of tools. There's one video that you want to use at the very beginning. It's called Get Started. Look at that video, play it slow, and play it again and again and again until you do every single thing in there. On the app, go through the learning videos, go through every single one of them until you become proficient at it. Then you can be your master of your own destiny. Then you can decide how much your income is going to be. So we're at a point now where, again, folks, it's a perfect storm. We have a product that is off the charts good. It's not just average good. It's off the charts good. I told David Nemelka back when I first met him, I said, what are you going to do when they figure out that this cat got out the bag? What are you going to do? He said, by the time they figure it out, we're going to have more than 1 million people on it. And then they can't stop it. I said, okay. I was skeptical. I was skeptical when I heard that statement because that's not that. I wanted to know what the backup plan was going to be. Because seriously, I do not believe that they wanted this out. So I think it's out by a fluke. But nonetheless, we have it. And we have the man who formulated it. So even if they flush this one, I guarantee you he can come up with Micro Daily 2.0. I guarantee you that because we got 4 versions of Micro Daily already. So he'll come up with Micro Daily 2.0. So we got a product that's off the Richter scale. A company that's 10 years old and has not folded, rock solid, because David Nemelka got deep pockets. He's the sole owner. He's not beholden to anybody. He doesn't have debt that he's paying off. He's the owner. He's got deep pockets. That's solid. Third, 1 out of 3 people, diabetic or pre-diabetic, heart disease still the #1 cause of death in this country, followed on the heels by cancer. We're in the middle of a pandemic that they're talking about becoming a triple-demic now. Everybody needs what you got. It's a perfect storm. And it's affordable. It's affordable. A person who can be in their 50s and in their 60s can get away with $150 and have phenomenal health. You can actually get by with $60 a month. If you really, really, really need to be on a budget, you can get by with $60 per month and do better than you did yesterday. And we're just talking to one person every month you could actually get your product free. You just can't beat it. So it really is a perfect storm for this. So we got a couple questions here, Bernard. So let's take a couple questions. Morris family.
Yes, I had a client couldn't get on this evening, so would the video be available tomorrow? I need to schedule an appointment with her.
Yeah, click on the right on the top of the screen where you see it says YouTube. Click on that and then copy that link.
Okay, I'm not good with this technology.
Okay, we'll send it to you. We'll send you that link, but it's right there on your screen, right where it says live. To the right of that, it says YouTube. I guess it does on my screen. I don't know about everybody else's.
And
Right.
I'll take care of her, John.
Yep, please,
Okay.
thank you. Mhm.
All right.
Very good. Any other questions out there? Okay. All right. So
Hey, Jonathan,
go ahead, Bernard.
there's one last point I want to give y'all that they're trying to start a business. Let people know that the right timing of this business, here's a main point that y'all want to remember. Right now, people quit jobs and no money comes in until you find another job. You're in the only industry that you can literally take if somebody can quit. And even though they quit, your business is all over the United States, Canada, and Jamaica. So you're in a business where your business will never stop because this company don't pay you for what you do. They pay you for what you start. And that's just the ending point that I like to leave everyone. They don't pay you for what you do. They pay you for what you start. Remember that.
Excellent point. Excellent point. Okay, folks. So for those of you who are interested in the Engage marketing system, there's going to be some training tomorrow night at 9 o'clock. So if you have not registered to be a part of that, go to converge.org and make sure you register. And that way you'll be informed as to when those trainings are, what those trainings are about. Converge.org, CONVURG.org. It's a Google form, but that's how you connect with my group. And you can be a part of those trainings on Monday nights at 9 o'clock. It's a marketing system that is going to blow the doors off the industry. That's where this is going. Question from Cool TLC.
Hey, John, I got a question to ask. I know we talked the other day. Did they do any enhancements, what we were talking about with the website?
Not yet.
Oh,
Not
okay.
yet. No enhancements have been in the pipeline as of yet. So sorry.
Oh, okay. All right.
But hopefully, we'll just kind of see where it goes from there.
Okay.
Beverly Donnell.
Yes, can you give me that Converge, is it? What was that?
Yes, converge.org. Converge with a U. CONVURG.org.
And this is for training.
Yes, if you want to register for our training and our marketing system.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're quite welcome. Okay, everybody. Bernard, thank you very much again for sharing your insights. And I will see you guys tomorrow night for those who are going to be there. Everyone else, our next presentation is Tuesday night. Bring your guests. Tomorrow is the last day of the month, folks. So if you've got people sitting on the fence, this is the time to push them over the fence or pull them back one way or the other. But this is the time. Tomorrow's the last day of the month. Finish out the month strong. If you're close to meeting your levels, your goals, put the pedal to the metal. Contact folks. Share videos and stories with them. Facts tell, but stories sell. So if you are registered on converge.org and you're in my Facebook groups, then you can get access to playlists with all the testimonials all collected together in one spot. Those testimonials make all the difference in the world. Get to know them because that's your ticket for being able to help people to move forward in this industry. Okay.
Also, look in chat for the Lunch and Learn for Veterans. It's in the chat. I think Dr. Crowley put it in there.
Yes, absolutely. And I think that's it, Bernard.
That's it. Thank you so much, Jonathan. Excellent training.
It was wonderful. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
You guys have
much success in people.
And
let's go.
Okay, I was waiting for that.
Happy to be working with you guys. We're excited.
Good training, everybody. Good training.
I enjoyed it.
Awesome sauce.
Very
Awesome
good.
sauce.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Let's
Thank you, both of us.
go.
Thank you.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Night.